안녕하세요. 그리너랩입니다. 저희는 얼마 전 남아공 케이프타운, 요하네스버그, 그리고 케냐 나이로비를 다녀왔습니다. 그중 오늘은 특히 인상 깊었던 케이프타운의 이야기를 전해드리려 합니다. 케이프타운은 바다와 산, 항구가 어우러져 세계적으로 잘 알려진 관광도시입니다. 하지만 아름다운 풍경 뒤에는 바람이 거세고 기후변화가 심해 나무를 관리하기 쉽지 않은 독특한 환경이 자리하고 있습니다. 이번 영상에서는 케이프타운에서 만난 아보리스트들을 통해 한국의 나무의사 제도와는 또 다른 수목관리 문화를 함께 살펴보겠습니다. 팀에 대해서 간단히 소개해 주시고 평소 어떤 일을 주로 하고 계시는지 말해 주세요. 그리고 자기소개와 팀에서 어떤 역할을 하고 있는지에 대해서도 소개 부탁드려요.
So my name is Danny. I am the operations manager and part of the Arborist team here at RVZ. And I oversee that our teams are on site when they need to be, and I explain the work that they're carrying out.
한국에서는 나무의사가 국가 자격으로 수목 진단과 처방을 담당합니다. 반면에 아보리스트라는 용어는 한국의 법적 자격명이 아닌데요. 남아공에서는 이런 모든 역할이 아보리스트라는 명칭 아래 포함되어 있는 건가요?
Yes, so everything is covered under Arborist. So an Arborist is essentially a tree doctor, but more than that, we have a consulting arborist and we have a contracting arborist. In our company, we have both. So we do the contracting side where we do the work based on the consultation that we've had with the client.
한국에서는 나무의사들이 주로 진단과 처방에 집중하고 직접 나무에 오르는 일은 많지 않습니다. 남아공에서는 어떤가요?
So we do a lot of treatments on trees. So we will spray and treat trees for aphids and sooty mold, powdery mildew, bacterial infections and the like. But we also find that based on our weather conditions and our patterns, that trees that are healthy and structurally sound benefit from the way that we work.
케이프타운에 있는 아보리스트 팀이 주로 집중하고 있는 업무는 무엇인가요?
The main focus of our team here is to ensure that the urban forest environment is in good cohabitation with people and where it is located based on infrastructure, based on weather conditions and the people and the usage around those trees.
오늘 팀이 V&A 워터프론트 현장에 오게 된 이유는 무엇인가요? 그리고 오늘 작업에서 가장 중요한 목표는 무엇인가요?
The most important part of today's work is that we are making sure that trees are structurally sound. Again, it's based on the usage of the environment. So the trees here are in a built environment, and because of that, we need to maintain them so that they don't outgrow the environment that they're in. This is the V&A's annual tree work program that we are following. So they do half their trees now this year and the other half will be done next year, and they will rotate like that so that all trees are managed effectively.
이번 현장에서 수목을 관리하실 때 특별히 더 신경 쓰는 부분은 무엇인가요?
The main points that we are focused on is that the trees look aesthetically pleasing for people and that they are in as healthy a condition as we can given their environment.
이곳에서는 최근 수목 관리에 대한 새로운 기술이나 디지털 도구가 도입된 것이 있나요?
So the biggest thing, especially with a project like V&A, it has been newly updated onto our system. We've just over the last 2 years been putting their trees onto our online system that we use. So from a technological perspective, that's the newest thing that we have used and implemented, and all our clients it's how we manage their sites. Many places around Cape Town and in South Africa as an overall don't use any management systems at all. We are unique in our company in that we have this management tool available to us.
작업을 시작하기 전과 마친 후에 항상 수행하는 필수 점검 절차에는 어떤 것들이 있나요?
So the way we work is we have a online management system, and through that we identify trees from species to size. We produce 3D maps and models as well that we then provide to our clients. And from that, we then manage that site in the system, and we update it as we're working through things. And we'll say, okay, these trees got seen to this year. We will update it, and those trees will then get marked that they need to be inspected again in 2 years' time. And we have before and after photos.
오늘 이 현장에는 몇 명이 작업에 참여하고 있으며 각자 어떤 역할들을 맡고 있나요?
So at the moment, I have 3 climbers with their ground crew. So each climber will have a ground crew associated to them. There will be a couple of extra team members, and then we also have our driver and tripper operators as well as his assistants.
보통 항상 같은 팀과 함께 작업하시나요? 아니면 프로젝트에 따라 팀 구성이 달라지나요?
It's the same crew. All of our workers are employed by the company on a full-time basis. Certain projects we will split up teams to cover more grounds, more work, just depending on where we're at. But right now we have our whole team here. Yeah.
현장에서의 안전 규정은 어떻게 관리되고 있나요? 그리고 점검 책임은 누가 맡고 있나요?
Right, safety is number one. It is a very big thing here in South Africa. The safety, you have to have your health and safety inspections. We will do everything as in our power to ensure that the site is as safe as possible, ensuring that there is no construction work happening around us that could impact us, ensuring that when we're working next to the water that our guys are ensuring that they're on the right side of the rails and not falling over them. Those are all very real factors, and we actually, for a site like this, we have a health and safety file. In that includes who is our first aid responder, which would be me, who is our health and safety inspector. We have our teams that go for chainsaw operators courses, as well as working at height certifications, where they learn the basic principles of how to climb the trees and how to secure themselves in the trees safely and correctly.
작업 환경에서 가장 큰 위험 요인은 무엇인가요? 예를 들면 기후, 병해충, 장비 안전, 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
So our biggest risk that we have is weather conditions. Okay. I would have to say it's weather conditions, especially here again in the Cape. You can have 4 seasons in one day. You can go from absolutely glorious, beautiful sunshine weather to a wind that is howling at 50 kilometers per hour in a couple of hours. So the weather conditions change on us, and depending on which side of the mountain we're on, it could even change. So from where we are based in Stellenbosch to where we've come to work here today, I've driven through fog, and then I drove to the other side of the mountain even further, and there was no fog, but came back fog, and now no fog here again. So it really just changes hourly. It changes, and because of those changes, there's always the risk of wind, moisture on trees. But our teams, when they're climbing the big trees and stuff, they are in harnesses and ropes and stuff, and they do secure themselves in as a point of safety.
날씨가 매우 중요하다고 말씀하셨는데요. 남아공의 기후는 작업 방식에 어떤 영향을 주나요? 또 계절에 따라 작업 패턴이나 수목 관리 방법이 달라지기도 하나요?
Yes, tree care is very dependent on the season. So generally during our spring, summer season, we do a lot more treatment-based approach to our stuff. Feeding, making sure that our trees are getting the right nutrients, that we're soil testing, that we are spraying the leaves for mildew and things like that in order to encourage good looking trees as well as to keep those pathogens at bay. And then in winter, when our deciduous trees are dormant, we do a lot more pruning of those sorts of trees at that point. But throughout the year, we are pruning our trees and doing the general maintenance, because a lot of our trees are actually evergreen. So those trees we can work through whichever season.
남아공의 도시나 도심 지역에서 가장 흔히 볼 수 있는 수종은 어떤 것들인가요?
Oh, okay. Well,
It's many Korean tree doctor wonder about that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because South Africa has its roots in so many people have come here from England, the Netherlands, all of that. They brought with them a great number of trees. Here in Cape Town, we have something that is known as the Cape Floral Kingdom. It is the youngest floral kingdom in the world, as well as it doesn't actually have lots of large indigenous tree species. They're more shrubby type bushes. So this environment actually doesn't call for big indigenous and endemic trees to the area. So a lot of the tree species that we have are either they're indigenous from South Africa, but not necessarily the area. And as a result, they don't necessarily get as big and things like that. But then we also have a large number of exotic tree species. We'll have a lot of ficus trees. We will have a lot of oaks. So your English oaks, your Turkish oaks, those sorts of trees are also here. All the pine trees are here as well, and they have become so iconic to the Cape Town background that we assume that they're all South African trees, but they're actually not. They've come from all over the world. So it really just depends on your environment. Endemic species, we have very few. But indigenous, we still have a number of them. The trees that we're working on at the moment are indigenous species, but not endemic to the area.
남아공에서는 병해충 방제나 토양 관리에 있어서 특별히 고유한 접근 방식이 있나요?
So for instance, I know we deal with, there's a problem called polyphagous shot-hole borer beetle here in South Africa. Now, it has come from the likes of Vietnam. It has spread throughout South Africa. And there are other countries facing the same problem. The USA has it, Israel has it, Australia since 2023 has had it as well. Certain trees we are finding that they're becoming immune to it naturally, as they are where the beetle actually comes from. But because trees are so unique, they're like people. What works for one species doesn't work for another, and what works even within the species, but in different environments, the treatments have to vary. So to say that we use the same treatments world round, yes, to a certain degree we do, but there are also things that even within certain areas of South Africa, we treat trees differently, and we focus on what is best for that tree, and we test things and to see which one works best for them based on their environment.
앞으로 수목관리 분야에는 어떤 변화가 일어날 것이라고 생각하시나요?
I think that people are becoming far more aware of climate change, becoming far more aware of the impact of plants and trees in particular in their environment and how important it is to have them. So people are finding that the more you love something, the more you want to conserve it, and therefore we put in the time, we put in the effort, and we find the people who know what they're doing to look after it.
한국의 나무의사나 수목관리 전문가들에게 전하고 싶은 말씀이 있나요?
I would just love to say that I hope you guys have as much fun as I do with my work.
한국과 남아공, 제도와 환경은 다르지만 나무를 아끼고 지키는 마음만큼은 같습니다. 여러분은 다른 나라의 수목관리 방식이 어떻게 이루어지고 있을지 궁금하지 않으신가요? 댓글로 의견과 질문을 남겨주세요. 앞으로도 전 세계의 다양한 나무 이야기들을 전해드리겠습니다. 다른 나라의 수목관리 환경도 궁금하시면 댓글로 남겨주세요. 구독과 좋아요는 큰 힘이 됩니다.